football, or soccer. They dare to call it foosball. One thinks New York is blue. The other thinks New York is red. Soccer in America from a German perspective. Let them put some sauerkraut on your hot dog and join them for the Schnitzel Boys USA Hour.
Ha ha!
Hey-o, that's the right
USA
intro.
Hour, and I got the right open. Yeah.
Right opening.
That's
you know
great.
what? Listening to that intro, we have to offer the MLS German perspective. We look at it through a German perspective, and you offered me some German perspective.
Oh, yeah. We had somebody, Marco Reus had a very great perspective.
I had to watch that clip 3 or 4 times to kind of see what was going on.
To even pick him out.
Yeah, because I thought maybe it was the guy poorly covering the other guy, and blah, blah, blah. And I realized, I know, he's just a statue.
Nope, he's just
still with his
standing
ball
there.
watch.
And, well, if you don't know what we're talking about, this was in the LA Galaxy. For the LA Galaxy, it's getting late early. It's just a couple months ago, they were raising a trophy. Marco Reus said dropping F-bombs during the parade, celebrating with his new club. Everything was hunky-dory. Then everybody left. Some other people are injured. And now the Galaxy are in trouble. 3 games, 3 losses. Is that true? 0 points. And Marco Reus has been asked to step up, and he has not. And Taylor Twellman shared a clip of him really just watching as St. Louis
not
FC
stepping anywhere. Not stepping
on a
anywhere.
corner
Up,
kick.
down,
He's just
side or
standing
left.
there. His guy, I mean, it's a zone setup for the corner, but like eventually, you got to find somebody to mark once the ball comes in. Marco Reus, however, is just standing there watching. His guy kind of cruises past him and scores the goal. And then he kind of limply lifts his arms as in like, what are you guys doing?
Man, Marco Reus.
Marco Reus. The Zone. We're going to call him the Zone.
The Zone.
The Zone.
Yeah, it didn't look good for Marco Reus, and it got me thinking. It got you thinking about you brought up Andrea Pirlo, and I brought up my man Robert Marquez came up, and
I just to clarify, I meant Andrea Pirlo. I brought up contrastingly. He, there was a clip. I think we might have talked about this before. There was a clip going around years ago where Pirlo is covering the short post on a corner, and he's sort of leaning. And then the ball kind of goes over his head, and then somebody scores in the back. And people were scathing online. We're like, what is Pirlo doing? He's just like leaning against the post. But in his defense, he's covering the short, he's covering the short post, and he doesn't, and the action happens far away from him. So I felt like he was sort of unfairly maligned in that case. But Marco Reus is like right in the thick of things, and he would have an opportunity to interfere, but he chooses not to. He's just watching.
Yeah, and the man he's covering walks off.
Yeah, the guy closest to him, kind of unimpeded, gets the ball that bounces around, and yeah. So the Galaxy are in trouble. MLS is weird, right? We have after 3 games, the 2 teams that have won all 3 are the Philadelphia Union and the Vancouver Whitecaps. There's 0 chance anyone predicted this ahead of time.
Definitely not with Vancouver. I mean, Philadelphia has a culture of winning there, so I'm not.
But Philadelphia, I thought before the season was going to struggle. They have this kind of.
Yeah, but Stefan Stradamus did not think that. He thought they were.
Okay.
So you have to remember, my predictions are the ones that.
Did you say that publicly though?
Probably. I'd have to find it somewhere. No, I definitely said I believed in Bradley Carnell.
Okay.
That it was a great appointment.
Yeah, I mean, clearly he has been. But I thought, like,
I believed in Bruce Arena. He hasn't disappointed. They had their first loss over the weekend.
Yeah, he's been very good with San Jose. Yeah,
I did not predict San Diego FC to come out swinging the way they did. Good for them.
I know.
They had a great win over the weekend. I think that was in that game, right? Was it the LA Galaxy?
No, that's St. Louis.
They beat St. Louis.
No, I think St. Louis is the team that won in LA.
Yeah,
If I'm not mistaken, let's let's get
All
into
right.
it here. We are, St. Louis won at the Galaxy 3-0. 3-0.
3-0. That's not good.
3-0.
San Diego won at Real Salt Lake 3-1.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
with
in
the
trouble.
last-
RSL are in trouble. They have,
Well, they were in trouble
they
before
got,
the season. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. They got they lost to Chicharango, and then Pablo Mastroeni said, "Oh well, we'll just have to score by committee or something." That never works. When people say that, your team is in trouble. When your coach says, "Oh, everybody will have to step up and we'll have to score by committee," that doesn't happen. You need
That's just another way of saying we don't know where the goals are going to
we
come
don't
from.
got we got nobody. Yeah,
They're not coming. The goals aren't coming. So stop asking. Yeah, so there you go with the Wild West being wild. But yeah, Vancouver leading, and the sad thing about Vancouver is, one of the big differences of the many differences between America's MLS and traditional European footballing powerhouses and South America and Mexico everywhere is the feared relocation rumors. Bochum is never worried about getting new owners and relocated. Bochum's always going to be a Bochum.
probably, yeah.
But
That's true.
But Vancouver Whitecaps, on the other hand, rumors are the relocation fight.
Oh, I had not
is
heard
about to
this
start
because
about
they're
to
for
start just
sale.
like
Yeah.
with they're gonna get new owners if they didn't have them already. Did they get new owners already?
I think that's still in process. Although
Still in process?
we established in the previous hour that I may not be 100% on top of this, but let's see.
Well, that's the thing about Vancouver. Vancouver is one of those. There was a lot of they have great fans. When they entered the league, they had all these great fans. They still do. They're a well supported club.
Yeah.
But I don't think they, if I'm not mistaken, they've never made the playoffs or something like that. Or maybe they made it once or something. I mean, they're just such an underperforming club. They're such a forgotten club. They've never had too many exciting players over the years. I think Brian White's doing great work. He's the one that got away. I agree with that. They had a guy named YP Lee there for a while. But, Vancouver's never created any great. They're part of the Cascadia rivalry, but between the three clubs, they're just riding the coattails of Seattle or Portland. It's just fun for them to be there.
Yeah.
But I'm saying Vancouver has never been taken seriously by anybody the entire time here. as far as as far as them being a title contender,
No.
So they could use a little bit more. And they're also the only club with a German sporting director that's failing. German sporting directors are usually very good. Philly, New York, and St. Louis and the like. But Vancouver also has one, but he's the forgotten one because the work up in Vancouver is very underwhelming. So, so good new owners would be good for them, but the market is great. The stadium is great. I would hate
The
to hear
stadium's not great.
not for what it is.
I'm sorry. No, it's not their stadium. It's turf.
Yeah, but Seattle,
BC Place. Yeah, it's not a good stadium situation. And
I don't like turf, but they have the potential to fill. Atlanta plays in a football stadium on turf. How's their stadium situation?
Yeah, I don't love that either. But I think that's going to change, right, for the World Cup, or maybe that's just short term. I don't know. Anyway, they are in the process of selling the team. They have not found a buyer just yet. Steve Nash is one of the part owners, but they're gonna sell it. And now, the fans are a little worried. The commissioner, I guess, was in Indianapolis, and then the Whitecaps fans were freaking out because maybe the team is moving. I don't know. We will stay on top of that. So far, nothing's been decided, but right now they're flying high. They've 3 games, 3 wins.
Maybe winning a cup will keep them in the city. We'll see.
That'll make a difference, probably.
But Vancouver fans, I feel for you. It just breaks my heart. I just remember when San Jose left. How sad that was. It was just sad to lose a team, and that's a very American reality of the franchise model and the owner model.
Yeah.
But anyway, good on Vancouver getting the 3 wins. But yeah, the Wild West, the New York Red Bulls had a 0-0 game down in Atlanta. They have a win, a loss, and a tie. They are doing remarkably middle of the line. They have all three of the results. They got your opening loss. They had a great win in the second week, and they had a pretty solid 0-0 tie that they'd be happy with in Atlanta. Atlanta was probably the more disappointed between the two. Triple Moteng still has yet to score, but he's still out there getting there, still getting to know each other. And the New York Red Bulls has a huge injury list. I mean, we're talking about our physio. I think we have 12 players injured right now.
Huh.
Start 18 players.
12? What? That's an incredible number.
We have a very long number of injured players.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope everybody's okay.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where we're just like, should our physio be replaced?
That's the kind of thing I don't wish on my worst enemy.
Yeah. I mean, the out list was pretty long. And we played every player we had, and we had 2 or 3 reserve guys on the bench. We're running out of players. So
Wow.
we have a little bit of an injury thing right now, but it's early in the season. It's MLS. This is maybe where we also disagree on a point that the first half of the season almost doesn't matter to me. MLS is the second half of the
same
season.
amount, on the other hand,
Yeah, but you got to be going into the playoffs winning. If you lose the first half of the season, and you lose, if you win the first half of the season and you're losing the second tail end of the season, then you're SOL.
But that's sort of what happened to you. You still made it to the finals.
We were hot at the tail end of the season. We were only cold at the middle of the season.
Well, okay.
We got hot when ML Forsberg was healed again.
You got very badly beaten by us not too long before the end of the season.
Yeah, but ML Forsberg was injured in the middle. We were bad when ML Forsberg was injured.
All right.
When he was healthy again,
that was still the middle. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I am in a weirdly zen state about my team, I guess. I don't feel a super. I mean, I think we're very. By the way, Daniel Young says hello. Hans Wolf is here. Good evening, Hans Wolf.
Hello, Hans Wolf. Good to see you again.
Great to see you. Great to see you. Great to see you too. And he says, great to see you to Daniel Young. Daniel Young was at Yankee Stadium. We had the 10-year anniversary on Saturday. The 10 years to the day it was from our first game, also against Orlando. That was on the road. I quizzed you already last week about who scored our first goal ever. It was Mix Discarud. He wrote a poem this week. He was kind of famous for writing these very eccentric, let's just call them eccentric poems.
Mix Discarud wrote a poem.
Yeah. He did, and when he was a player, he would have on his social media, he would have some out, like sometimes he would, the muse would kiss him and he would come up with something. And he did that again for the 10th anniversary. He wrote another weird poem about the game in Orlando 10 years ago. It was kind of an emotional thing, I thought. Going there, they brought back some players. That's what made me think of this, because that's where I saw Daniel Young when we were both looking to shake hands with former NYCFC players. RJ Allen was there. Kwadwo Poku, blast from the past, the guy who got us excited the first season when there wasn't a lot of offensive quality, and Tony Rocha, the human victory cigar. What's that?
They took time out of their busy temp schedules to come down. And
I don't know what Poku's up to these days. He never really, his career never really took off. He was, he had some real electric talent. He was, I think, Eric Winalda found him somewhere in Atlanta or something. There was something to that story. And then they gave him a shot, and he was, it was clear why you would pick him, but he also couldn't play a system. He didn't play defense, so he didn't last long, and then his career kind of floundered. But it was great to see him. He was just a positive character. So yeah, Pirlo came. Andrea, he did not come for the meet and greet. I did not get to shake hands, but he was on the field.
That's nice.
celebrating. And so, yeah, it was I think David Villa was featured again in social media posts. He became kind of it was as if he didn't exist
Well,
for
he
a
was
couple of
canceled,
years,
right?
but then
Yeah.
but now he featured a little bit. So yeah, it was a very kind of feel good event.
Hello.
10 years.
My name is Mix. They sold me because they're a bunch of dicks. After all, I was playing around just for some kicks. It's a pretty good poem that I'm reading here.
Oh
This is
no,
Mix's poem.
this is just something you just made up.
Yeah, maybe. I made it up. I made it up, maybe.
But
Uh,
if you read his actual poem, it's not that different. I mean, there's no yeah, he doesn't talk about dicks.
I was gonna say we gotta
Anyway,
find Mix's poem.
mm,
Was your name on the board? There was a meme shared where
yeah, sure was. Yeah, I took a
Mr.
picture.
Mobile Ticket was
Mr.
celebrated
Mobile
for being the
Ticket, that's
founding
right.
member of
That's
the
right, I
club.
saw that too, that made me laugh. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
my name was there, I took a picture for posterity. Uh,
Yeah, share it on the Shinsa Boys social media account. Our social media accounts are due for a little bit of an overhaul. I've been a little lazy, but we got to get our butts on
no,
Blue
that's okay.
Sky and Thread and all the other ones.
That's alright.
But you got a good
Anyway,
photo there.
yeah, 10 years, it went quickly, I gotta say.
Yeah.
I remember very, vividly the first home game. There was a lot of people there. My daughter and her friend came, and they barely ever went back afterward. They were there for the very first one, and, yeah, David
I
Villa.
remember that day like it was yesterday. You guys celebrated that you only had to play there for 3 years before you moved into your new stadium. Now here you
Well,
are 10
here we
years
are 10
later.
years later, and we got one more season after this one. Although we were told by President Brad Sims that the stadium is ahead of schedule, and there's going to be, I think it's going well. They're starting. They were digging. There were no surprises. He was saying how sometimes when you, and I had this experience myself. When you build a house, you start digging. You never know what's going to happen. In our case, we found some unexpected rocks. But
Yeah.
in the case of the NYCFC Stadium, apparently there were no such snags. Everything is fine,
And
and
not a whole bunch. There's no Jimmy Hoffa's bones or
no,
anything like that.
well,
Nothing.
or if there was, they just kind of put some
They didn't tell
concrete
anybody.
over it and didn't tell anybody. So it's
Yeah,
going.
it was either the DC Stadium or maybe even the Red Bull Stadium. When they were digging, they found a whole concrete structure underground from foundation of abandoned project from a long time ago, I guess. And
Mm.
that postponed the whole project a year. Just that
Yeah,
alone.
I mean, I think I keep waiting. This can't possibly happen on time. But so far, we're told it's on schedule and it's even ahead of schedule. That means we only have one more season after this one in this baseball situation.
As a roving band of fans from Yankee Stadium to Citi Field to Red Bull Arena, up to East Hartford, Connecticut,
The New York Wanderers.
the New York Wanderers,
That's
100%.
right.
That is coming to an end very shortly. Well, very cool. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't have strong feelings either way. I'm not loving or hating what's. I'm just like, yeah, it's happening. It's moving forward. But good to hear you're in a Zen
Wait,
line. So you guys beat Orlando
what
City over the
what were you
weekend?
sorry, what were you just referring to? The season or your team? Or the stadium?
The
What do you mean?
The New York Rebels. We're talking
Okay.
about how I feel either way.
I thought you'd be
Which
more
better?
excited. You made the final. You got some reinforcements. You've got a good
Yeah,
team.
I am excited. I'm
All
excited.
right.
I don't feel strongly either. Like we have a win, a tie, and a loss.
Yeah,
We're
same.
right in the middle there.
So do we. Yeah. So do we.
So excellent. It's like exactly the parody MLS is built for is happening.
Total mediocrity.
The
Yeah.
mediocrity is happening. I still would love to see Choupo-Moting get off his feet a little bit, but it's early days. I'm looking forward to them getting to
Early
know each other a little
days.
better. I'm looking forward to the injuries list to cut in half too. So
Yeah.
and like
Yeah,
I said, the second half of the season is the season. So I'm waiting on that part.
we have some of that. We have some of that as well. But we have the people that left, and they're and the front office and David Lee are never in a rush to get replacements. They go about this very deliberately. So this is going to be a while, and we're definitely a little short. But we had a pretty good win 2-1. Offensively, things were flowing. Hannes Wolf scored a goal. He's been kind of weirdly out of form, but he wasn't even going to start because Ojeda was supposed to get the start, but he was late. He showed up late and lost his starting spot for Hannes in favor of Hannes Wolf, who then scored the winning goal. So that's all good. I think there's still a giant-sized hole in our midfield where Jimmy Sands used to be. Johnny Shore, no, Mix. Nobody's missing Mix on the field. He was a complete disappointment. Like,
was that on his poem?
Really, no. I mean, we remember him for scoring the first goal and having his own brand of Yankee look-alike hats that said Mix on them. But on the field, he was a total bust. Like, for a while, it was like, oh, he's out of position. They're playing him out of position. And in the end, after 2 years of back and forth, it was finally like, oh, he's just not that good. It turns out he's not all that good. Anyway.
Okay. Finally, I have it. A decade gone, we took Orlando on. In second half, I was gifted the ball that led to our loss of innocence and virtue, too. Goosebumps erupted for me and those who from the get-go and first away chose to travel and offer us love so profound as I glanced up inspired and spellbound. Devoted fans will always mean more than any pep talk from a coach's drawer. Congregationists of Yankee Stadium Chapel, you're remembered as much more than Apple. I salute and thank you from afar, all walks of stripes. Go claim your star. That's the mixed disc group poem.
I mean,
I need to reread that a little bit.
You made that sound so much better through your read.
So I'm going to do it one more time.
Oh, you're going to do it again? All right.
Because I'm like, half of this is clearly written by someone who doesn't speak English as a native language.
What?
Here we go. Second half, I was gifted the ball that led.
Because English was not one.
Yeah, but you don't say in second half. You say in the second half. It's already off right there. Unless he's going for iambic pentameter.
No, it's a rhythm. It's a rhythm.
I was gifted the ball that led to. He tried to. Okay, virtue.
Wow.
He's rhyming to and virtue, but
we're giving this more time than. But okay.
It's a poem.
You're gonna read it again?
Sorry. Nah, I mean I read it once.
All right. I thought you did a great job. It sounded good the way you read it.
He also rhymed those and chose. There you go. Did I say
that's pretty good?
Chose? Profound. All right, I want to do it one more time, real quick.
All right. Let's do it. Mixed Disc Roots poem for the occasion of the 10th anniversary of NYCFC's first game, where he scored the first goal of the team ever. Take it away.
A decade gone, we took Orlando on. In second half, I was gifted the ball that led to our loss of innocence and virtue. Goosebumps erupted for me and those who from the get-go and first away chose to travel and offer us love so profound as I glanced up, inspired and spellbound. Devoted fans will always mean more than any pep talk from a coach's drawer. Congregationists of Yankee Stadium Chapel, you remembered as much more than Apple. I salute and thank you from afar, all walks of stripes. Go claim your star. By Mixed Disc Group.
Wow.
There you go. That's the poem.
This is that was profound. It's very sweet. I definitely appreciate it in a different way now. So he's yeah.
I don't. I mean, it's good, but this is my least favorite line. You're remembered as much more than Apple. What does that mean, Bjorn?
I don't know. And why
remembered as much more than Apple?
I mean, and why?
Big Apple?
Why does scoring a goal mean a loss of innocence?
I don't know, man.
That doesn't make any sense either. No, I mean,
who from the get-go and first away chose? What's a first away?
The first away game, I guess.
Chose to travel and offer, I guess.
Yeah, he's saying the fans that came to Orlando. I was not one of them. I did not. That was not. It took me until the middle
Mr.
of
Mobile
that
Ticket
season to even.
Mr. Mobile Ticket took your spot.
I don't know. It took me a while. It took me a few months to even consider. The first road game I ever went to was in Philly, where I was like, oh, we could just go there. It's not that far. But the
Yeah.
very first game, it did not occur to me to fly to Orlando to watch this. So
What's the
I was
furthest?
not one
I
of
was
them.
gonna say LA. I was probably there for that. Your furthest road game
Oh,
was LA.
I've
Yeah.
gone to LA. I've gone to Costa Rica
Oh, you went to Costa Rica.
for Champions League. Yeah. Hans Wolf is saying, oh, Hans Wolf would like to know if Stefan, if you were there for the Red Bull Stadium opening in 2007, and he also is punning on his name being similar to Hannes Wolf. He says, "You are most welcome for said goal. I've been a little out of form lately." Yes, agreed. Lul.
100%. Hannes Wolf.
Hannes Wolf has been out of form. It's like weirdly. Can I just say one thing about our new coach, though?
Before I answer the questions, you're saying?
Oh, you weren't at the opening, were you?
Well, first I want to say the Red Bull Arena opening was the year 2009, not 2007.
Oh, okay.
And I was not at the first game, but I was at the second ever game.
All right.
I was there. I watched Joao Lemper score a great goal and get a 1-0 victory. And here's a little something about me. That was the first ever live soccer game I've ever attended in my life.
Oh,
it was at Red Bull Arena.
Really?
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I watched it on TV for years. In Brazil, I never went to a game and stuff. And I just, Champions League, I always watched on TV. When Red Bull Arena opened, it opened with Santos. I want to say featuring Neymar.
Okay.
Had a friendly against Red Bull Arena. I think they won 3-0 or something. That was like that was the opening Red Bull Arena. I wasn't there for that. But the first competitive game was the MLS opener where Chicago Fire visited the New York Red Bulls, the new stadium, and Joao Lemper, who ironically later played for the Chicago Fire, scored a great goal from outside the box. We won that game 1-0. And that was the first ever soccer game I ever attended. It was a lot of fun. As you can tell, it's very memorable. So it was close to the opening, I guess. I wasn't there for like a groundbreaking ceremony or anything, but I was there in the first competitive ever game.
Okay.
Sorry. Anyway, what were you going to say?
No, don't apologize. I presumptuously answered the question for you. No, okay. No, I was going to say, well, I have two things to say. Daniel Young says NYCFC had a good game against Orlando. We had 25,800 people in attendance, and we beat a good Eastern Conference side. Yeah, the crowd was pretty good. It was so cold, though. Oh, my God. This was another thing where I'm always, when people talk about the switching the schedule, and then it's like, oh, if in the winter and I'm always like, come on. But it was so... It was so cold. My friend came, he brought his daughter, and she was just like, this sucks. We had to buy her a hot chocolate at halftime, and still by the 60th minute, she was like, I want to go. This is too cold. And I didn't blame her. It was very cold in Yankee Stadium. But 25,000 people were there. And we did play.
Was it a night game?
It was a night game, 7:30. Yeah.
Maybe during the afternoon it would have been a little better, right?
Maybe, but it was Yankee Stadium was pretty busy. What I was going to say is I really appreciate our new coach just having very thoughtful and sort of real press conferences after. He talks about things, even that he told us that Ojeda got, he was going to start, but that he was late. And so Hannes, Nick Cushing wouldn't say these kinds of things. Nick Cushing was always just kind of, spouting platitudes about how everybody's passionate and they're fighting. But Coach
110%.
110%. Yeah. And Coach Janssen was talking about tactics and and he was talking about Hannes Wolf, about how he has these qualities, but he's finding his way. And
right now you're in the phase where it's kind of like with me with Greg, maybe, where you got your new girlfriend, you keep bitching about your ex-girlfriend with her. She used to always keep the seat up or whatever. I don't know, that's not a real thing, but like she would always do this, she would always do that, the kind of thing of the when you broke up and they just keep complaining about. That's where we are right now. Nick Cushing left, and now you're at the bitch about Nick Cushing phase with your new honeymoon coach Pascal Janssen.
I'm not like that. I don't really turn on people like that necessarily. I don't think that's true as a. I mean, some people you just like and some they don't. I don't know how he's going to work as a coach or how, but it just is. I don't know. He has a good vibe about him. I mean, he also has some challenges because our squad is missing some top end talent that we need to sign at some point. So we'll see how he does. But he's so far, he seems like a good guy. Johnny Shore was player of the match. He got his first start and he had a very good game in midfield. That kid is really on the rise. So that was fun to watch. Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
always
it's all
there for
cool.
when academy kids can break through the first.
New York
I'm
City,
always there
born
for
and
that.
bred. Yeah,
Yeah,
he grew up in Manhattan. Yeah.
that's my favorite story. That's my favorite part of soccer in general. It's just like, especially here in MLS, it's like when the local kids come to the academy, they can break through and become soccer players. More the merrier, man. That's the whole, in my opinion, that is why we're here. That is the whole point of MLS.
They had
Great
it was
players.
really cool. They had a picture of him that was circulating on social media of him when he was like maybe 11 and he was getting an autograph from Keaton Parks. And took a selfie with him and Keaton Parks, and now he's playing the double pivot next to Keaton Parks at Yankee
And
Stadium. That's pretty cool.
in a few years, maybe Keaton Parks will try to get Johnny Shore's autograph. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
See how much the rise goes. Yeah, there's a great photo of a young Weston McKennie when he's like 11 getting an autograph from Clint Dempsey and when they were in Germany.
It's quite cool.
It's I like seeing that. Yeah, or like that famous photo of a young Christian Pulisic and a young what's his face English McGee at the Chelsea Academy when they're 11.
Or Messi holding what's his name, Lamal as a baby. That was
Oh
crazy.
yeah,
That's
maybe creepy. I don't know. That's, baby,
that's a little weird.
Maybe the next step.
I guess so.
What's he doing there? Is he at his house?
Daniel Young said, "Forgot to tell you, Bjorn, I wore my Australian kit Melbourne City FC on Saturday. Yeah, I didn't take it in. Yeah, that's you're
Thanks for bringing that up.
a CFG. So yeah, what? Say again?
I was gonna say it's part of the CFG fan. You once told me, Bjorn, that that's not how fandom works. I was like, I don't know. It can be like that. You got to root for your cousin.
I mean, I don't feel that obligation at all. I don't care what happens to Man City one way or another. I mean, I guess I like
boardroom.
I do not. I don't feel that way. I don't care about Girona at all unless Tati Castellanos plays for them. But I mean, yeah, if you want to, that's fine. Of course, Melbourne. Hans Wolf is saying he likes the Melbourne City kit. It looks better than ours. Well, if we're talking about kits or jerseys or shirts, the big news on that front this week in NYCFC land was the NYCFC 2 jersey went on sale, and that one is a beauty. It's so nice, and you could buy it. You couldn't last year, and it has a pigeon logo on it. I was excited about that. Speaking about
Melbourne City is just a Man City clone, right? Is that what I'm looking at right here?
A clone.
It's sky blue. It says Etihad Airways on it. It's a sky blue.
David Villa went on loan there for a couple months before he came to us.
It's a sky blue jersey with Etihad Airways on front, right? Is that what I'm looking at?
You got to ask Daniel Young. I don't know.
All right. Well, thanks for bringing up Australia, because small news in the MLS media market world is that SBS Sports, Australia's sports network, just bought the rights to air MLS on their airwaves. So Australia will start airing MLS games.
Oh, they don't have. What about the Apple thing?
They have Apple, but Apple's streaming. Apple's a global
so they're going to do it
on.
They're going to broadcast games. All right, that's good.
Yeah, because SBS is cable. It's old school cable. Cable can, just like how Fox Sports has it here. Every country's cable network can still sign deals. So Australia just signed a deal, a little more income, a little more exposure. And Australia is such an interesting place because in a lot of ways they're like our cousins, like they have the A-League, and soccer is not the most popular sport in Australia, but they have all these old rugby stadiums to play. There's a lot of parallels between the A-League and MLS and US soccer. And in the mid-aughts, it was always a big point of comparison, especially on the boards. The A-League guys would be like, are we as good as MLS? Are we better than MLS? Are we worse than MLS? I always thought they were a little step down. Whenever they had superstars like Luciano Acosta was A-League's best player. He would come here to MLS. He played for DC United. And he was a very good DC United player. It's not like he was a bad player. He was a DP. He was good. but he did not rip up the league or anything like that. He was just a solid player. So their best players could never be more than just a solid player.
Lucho Costa? He would.
No. Luciano Acosta. We're talking 2009.
Oh, is that a different? Oh, that's a different Acosta.
I think that's a different Acosta.
Oh.
Maybe I'm mixing it up.
Oh, it's a different.
I might be mixing up names.
Okay.
Pretend I got the wrong. Maybe you're right. Maybe I said it wrong. Not Lucho Acosta.
Okay.
Some other guy.
He was league MVP when you. I mean, it's not like
I'm talking about a Brazilian. Maybe I got the names wrong. There was a Brazilian guy who played for DC United in 2009, 2008, who was very good. He was one of their DPs, and he was a good, solid Brazilian player, obscure player, not Brazilian international, not like a Kaká. However, he came from the A-League where he like ripped up the A-League. He was like their Messi. He was like a superstar over there.
Okay.
And then, so to me, I thought that was a good litmus test as to the level of quality between both leagues. That's all I'm saying. His name escapes me at the moment. I could swear it was Luciano something.
All right.
Luciano Acosta, but
yeah, I mean, I think that's.
So Australia's got MLS coming. Anyway, sorry. Go back to what you were saying at the. I interrupted you.
No. I think I was done. I don't know. I was talking about shirts, and Daniel Young is saying Australians will watch MLS at 7 a.m. I guess that's another thing. It's at a weird time, right, over there, so they can watch it for breakfast.
Maybe there's that. Yeah, it's on Mondays over there.
Yeah, and Hans Wolf is saying, wann wir haben Ostpreußen Blut, es war nur ein bisschen kalt, Jungs. He's bragging about his East Prussian blood that he didn't feel cold. But I think, it was pretty cold.
I'll tell you, I have East Prussian blood. I think. Could be wrong. In New York, it meant nothing to me. Like, I'm very fit for the cold. However, moving to Florida over COVID and living in California now for 3 or 4 years, I get cold real easy now.
I bet.
My blood has boiled. Like, my blood is cooled or boiled or whatever. Like, it was 40 degrees. It's now here in California, I work late nights. It's 40 degrees at night, and it is freezing. I'm freezing my butt off at 40. In New York, I didn't freeze at 40. I didn't need a coat on until it got south of 30. And I'll tell you, I'm way more sensitive. It could be in the 50s and I'm cold now. So my Ostpreußer Blut is boiled.
Yeah, I don't get cold that easily. But I was also a little underdressed. I don't know. It wasn't on my radar as a problem, I think.
And is it unrealistic?
I probably worn different shoes. What? Yeah.
I think what I'm about to say is unrealistic. Is it unrealistic to have some sort of a heating system in the state, like kerosene heaters around? That's unrealistic, probably, right? It's a big open-aired stadium.
It's heating the outdoors is never a very efficient.
You can do it at a restaurant. Kerosene heaters.
I mean, yeah, like in a small. No, for sure it works. I mean, I've had an electric heater for our roof deck in our old place, but like, it only works for a very small space, and it's never energy efficient if you're doing it outside. No,
definitely not.
Obviously never. So at a large scale, it'd be pretty controversial to do that. We have many things going on in the chat.
I don't see the chat.
Hans Wolf says, I say it was a wonderful feeling when Man City fans came to double our numbers down in Orlando City during the US Open Cup, when the debacle occurred from ownership allowing the fans behind our goalie. Yeah, I remember this game. I wasn't there. I watched it on TV, but there was a penalty shootout, and I guess this was COVID years, or maybe it was just because it's Open Cup. We won the coin toss and decided to have the shootout take place away from the Orlando fans in the empty stands. And then all the Orlando fans just ran over there and got in. And I guess the owners, the stadium security let them go in, and that was upsetting for us. But I didn't realize Hans Wolf is saying there were Man City fans came to support us. I never heard that story. That's pretty interesting. Daniel Young is saying I can wear my Vincent Kompany jersey on Saturday, but it is purple and it will look like I would look like Grimace at Yankee Stadium. I don't want to look like a Mets mascot in the Bronx. Yeah, that's fair enough. The purple, I don't know. Yeah.
Everyone loves a Grimace, so you'll be good if you're Grimace. Isn't it? I'm confused. Who?
Grimace? You don't know who Grimace is?
No, I know who Grimace is, but I don't know who Vincent Company is. I've never heard that before.
Oh yeah,
You don't
he's
mean Vincent Company, do you?
that's our company. I'm sorry. When he was at
Vincent?
when he played at City, it was Vincent Company. That was his name. Now he's Vincent
Not
Company.
anymore.
Yeah.
Vincent Company.
All right. No, don't. I mean, no offense to our to the Belgians, the Belge.
Yeah, we're big in Belgium, so
huge.
We're all over Brugge. Brugge's number one. We get played on the stations over there.
Yeah. Anyway, a lot of shirt talk. There was a 10th anniversary shirt. The new.
Oh yeah, I was looking up the NYCFC 2 shirt. Sorry, keep talking.
But in addition to that, there was also a one of the new jersey that just came out was there was a 10th anniversary edition, and I, of course, because I have a merch problem, I snagged one, and for the 10-year anniversary jersey, I chose to honor number 10 Maxi Morales, who I believe is the greatest player we've had in our first 10 years. So that also felt sort of special to think about Maxi that way. Anyway,
nice.
What do you think about the NYCFC 2 jersey?
Can't find it. I think the one I'm looking at is from 2024.
All right. Well, it's similar. It's like a white sort of pinstripe thing, but this new one has a pigeon on it. It's pretty cool. Hans Wolf is saying, he's saying to Daniel Young, I am forever a fan of the Australian leagues, not only because I have a few friends out that way, but it was there and only Estonia playing football during mid-pandemic. I didn't know that either. Hans Wolf has all the facts here. Estonia and Australia played the game while everybody else was on lockdown. Interesting. And so you went for Australia. You didn't become a fan of the Estonian league. You just went for. Okay, I guess I could see that. Do you want me to send you a picture?
Well, I think I found it. It looks. I just zoomed in. Yeah, it looks good. The white and the thing. I don't know. I mean, you may be more connected to it than I am, but I do like the white and the pinstripes because that's very Yankee.
I get excited. Right? I mean, it's
not. Essentially, you got two options. Either it has to look like Manchester City or it has to look like the Yankees. It's one or the other, right? What I'm liking is this thing. Again, this is the 2024 away jersey. I'm liking that. The black with the orange on one side and sky blue on the other. I'm more into that.
The NYCFC. Yeah, that one's nice too. Is called the 24-hour kit or something?
Yeah, I did. That I dig. That I like.
That was pretty good. I put Hannes Wolf on that one, and that didn't turn out to be a good move. But
why not?
Yeah. Well, because he hasn't been all that good. He's been sort of. He looked for a couple of games last season. He looked like he was the best winger in the league, but then he kind of flattened out.
The kid cursed during the mix. Nick Cushing has a new job, by the way. I was on the NYCFC boards.
Oh, what is he doing?
He is the head coach of the Manchester City women's team, back in his old stomping grounds, because they just fired their coach. I remember reading it on ESPN. I guess he is the replacement. They're waiting to be available.
He got his old job back. Wow. Okay.
Old job back. He got his old job back.
Oh wow. Well, all right.
So I know you don't want to hear a lot about your ex, but your ex is dating again, and
that's fine. No
relationship and
no hard feelings. I wish him well. I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't feel about. I mean, Ronnie Dyla is different. Ronnie Dyla, when we play Atlanta, I'm gonna shed a tear looking at Ronnie Dyla on the opposing sideline.
You're gonna be like, I remember our old obscure European coach. I wonder how he compares to our current obscure European coach.
Well, you have a stone for a heart, Stefan.
Maybe.
Daniel Young says, did you laugh at Arsenal tying Man United 1-1 and losing the Premier League title race to Liverpool? It's a 16. I mean, they had already lost. That ship sailed a couple weeks ago. But yeah, it is. Liverpool are having a charmed year. They are good and lucky, and that is a combination that cannot be beat.
Give it to Arne Slot. Stepping in Jurgen's shoes with Liverpool, he did, is a very difficult job.
Well,
and he's been crushing it.
Let's see how he does next year when Mo Salah's 35, 32 goals or however many he has now when he scores those for somebody else, and we'll see how good Arne Slot is. But yeah, no, I mean, no disrespect, like it's very shockingly successful in his first year. Hans Wolf is saying there were 18 of us for US Open Cup. Man City fans from Orlando came out and made it 42 in our visitor section for this Open Cup.
That's
game.
nice.
That is very nice. I remember that match very well. Local women were spitting at us from in front of us, closer to our own goalie. Was rather upset, especially since none of the men were spitting.
The local women of Florida were spitting at you guys? Never.
Apparently.
Floridian women spitting in our
This
way.
is quite a tale. I'm sorry I missed it. I have a few Estonian friends in Manhattan going back to childhood. It's automatic for you. Oh, okay. So the Estonian goes without saying. It's Australia. That's unusual. All right. Well, very good to find out these things about Hans Wolf.
The Estonian League is the league on YouTube where you find clips of bonkers things. Like there's one where it's like goalkeeper scores a goal. Like, you know how you see those clips online where it's like there was one like the player gets substituted
This
in
has never happened.
of the match.
I
think half those clips you find them in like the Estonian League.
From Estonian League. Weird stuff happens in Estonia, in Estonian soccer.
I'm all for it. There's that great clip. We should share some of those clips. Great clip with like a goalkeeper. This one's like, remember, always look at the ball where a goalkeeper like blocks a penalty.
Oh, and then runs away, and then
it just bounces.
It came off the crossbar, and then bounces and rolls in. Yeah, I've seen that.
The other team starts cheering.
That was Estonia. Are you sure? No.
I don't know if it's Estonia, but it's somewhere. But that's where you get to see stuff like that, and I'm all about it.
Well, anyway, MLS is back in full swing, and I was excited to be there. We're playing the woeful New England Revolution next week, so I'm hoping for another 3 points, maybe.
Chicago Fire got. Speaking of X's, Chicago Fire got their first win, I believe, under
Greg Berhalter got a win.
Berhalter, keep a close eye on that. Chicago Fire got a 3-1 win over FC Dallas. All right.
Yeah. All right. That's it. Have we done it?
I think we did it.
All right.
We did it. We did it, Schnitzel Cups. Sorry we took a week off. We're back. We're here. We'll be here next Monday.
We talked twice as fast today to make up for it.
Twice as fast. And we love all you, and I'm very thankful for you and your involvement. We hope to see you all again next week, and hope to see you at the grounds. As MLS is happening, summer's coming, and soon we got American Soccer Summer, FIFA Club World Cup, Gold Cup.
We didn't talk
Nations
about
League
$1 billion
MLS coming
$1 billion FIFA money.
We did not. $1 billion, baby. I looked it up. Champions League is still $2.5 billion. Doesn't rival with the Champions League, but it's pretty big. Imagine if Inter Miami won $1 billion. That's got to be the greatest profitable American soccer club in history.
But it doesn't all go to one team, right?
What? It's prize money. It does go to one team, right? Maybe I don't understand the breakdown of prize money.
No.
Are you saying it's $1 billion in total for the whole tournament?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know how much the prize money
is. I don't think it's $1 billion. Nick Cushing, Danny Young saying Nick Cushing has a chance to win a trophy on Saturday afternoon coaching Champions League. I mean, that was where he was successful. I mean, good for him. I'm glad. I wish him well. All right. Good night, you all.
Tschüss.
Macht's gut.